Guys, it's been a while since I've drove around Morganton and showed you anything. I'm probably going to do a narration when I get back to the studio, but I'm over here close to where I used to rent an apartment at Morganton Trading Company. I'm going to kind of start from out here in this area where Town Hall and everything is, and maybe just drive around a little bit. It's such a beautiful day here. I'm going to stick my GoPro just out the window with my hand, so it might be just a tad bit shaky, but here we go. I'll show you some of the town. So folks, I've never done a 5K version of a Morganton tour, and I have the GoPro Hero 10 here. I'm doing some stop frames just to test the image quality of doing stop frames. And a lot of these I'm blowing them up, blowing the pixels up artificially. So there are a few that are just pure pixel yield here. This is Morganton Trading Company here again. I'm zooming in, showing what you can get to zooming in. I used to live in this place. Back down this little alley here, and there to the right, I used to have an apartment up above Buck's Pizza, just further down. And anyway, this is just a cool little 5K driving tour update. I haven't done a driving tour in a long time, and I liked trying to have my hand out the window where I could pan left and right. There's Slade's Chapel AME Zion Church. It's a sports bar restaurant on the corner there on the left. And this is coming up Union Street. We're still on the East Union Street. That is our Morganton Theater there. I think it's called the Mimosa Theaters. There's 5 or 6 theaters in there. Good place to go see movies. Sounds really good there. But yeah, so a lot of these freeze frames I'm doing, I hope they don't bother you. It's just where I find points of interest. I think, well, I'll zoom in on something. I'm going to do the courthouse here just in a second, the old courthouse. And I am blowing them up and color correcting some of these. So yeah, that's way more pixels than it should be. Blowing them up, it's not real true pixel yield. Some of the pictures I have done that way. Here's the back toward the courthouse again, another view. I did a freeze frame on that. But yeah, I have to say, you know, even artificially increasing the size of the pixels, it looks sharp. It looks pretty dang good. So I'm going to post this video. I'm not color correcting or anything. This is what comes out of the GoPro, and it could be color enhanced, of course, shadows and stuff deleted or enhanced. At West Union Art Studios, I did a tour of that today. I'm going to post that later, show you all the beautiful local art that's in there. Now over on the left, that's the Dogs Unleashed. It's where the guitar rabbi is. How I do some shows now and again. He's kind of a crazy guy. He loves guitars though. He has a cool little growing guitar channel on YouTube. Come up here. That is Morganton Federal, or I think it's what it's still called. It used to be called Morganton Federal Savings and Loan Company off in the distance there, and that is the Grind. I did a zoom in on the Grind, so some folks out there just, the Grind is a coffee shop. Really good one in Morganton, maybe one of the best. I like going there. I like seeing the little show. They do little concerts and stuff at the top of it. So a lot of this you've seen before in my videos, is maybe not in 5K. I'll get a shot of the Morganton Federal here. It used to be an old Confederate colonel's house. But yeah, I'm trying to level these pictures, do a little bit of a color adjustment so you can see what these things look like. I'm going to come up here and make some commentary again. I'll drop out from the studio recordings when I do my commentary in the car. So here we go. I think I'm going to turn right on Collett Street here, take you back up to the north part of town, more northern part of town that I don't usually show very often. This is a insurance agency over here. The guy may live there as well, I don't know. I've been in there one time to shoot some photos in a boardroom portrait. It's a beautiful house behind the trees across the street over there, across Collett Street over there. It's like way larger than you'd think that it is. You'd have to see through the trees. Actually, aerial view would show it to you better. Let's go back outside. So back in the studio with my commentary again. There's that house. It's a big old house behind all those trees. This is called Collett Street. There's a little gazebo it has. If I were to have, like I say, adjusted the color on this, you'd be able to see things better in the shadows. I'm just kind of leaving this video as it is. Kind of sort of to show you what you get with the GoPro Hero 10 for a driving video. But I am very impressed. I'm looking forward to seeing what the next iteration of GoPros is. Take a right here on Collett Street. That's C-O-L-L-E-T-T. And that's the Collett Street Recreation Park. And there's the tennis courts and have basketball courts in there. I think a weight room. I know they've got a nice pool out back, maybe an inside pool too. This is Morganton News Herald, our newspaper, local newspaper. Again, I'm blowing these things up sometimes 150%. So this is, like I say, artificially blown up pixels, but still looking pretty sharp. I'm fairly impressed with the way it works. Fellow jogging across that's the Methodist Church over there to the right, First United Methodist. You've seen it in some of my other videos if you follow it. There's a nice look behind at Collett Street. I like being able to stick my hand out the window and just spin the GoPro around. I have it on a handle from Wasabi, and that's how I'm kind of handling it, get the green light. This is the Masonic Lodge to the left. I love the kind of like matching pairs of rock of the granite on the front of it there. Check that out. I am not a Mason, but I thought that's some kind of cool looking granite. I guess it's granite on the front of that building. What I'm going to do here is go up to that next light. Well, after I get through here, this is Sterling Street, back to the right there, which you've seen before in some of my videos. That goes to Sane's Barbershop, where I usually get my hair cut. But I'm going to go through here, go to the next light, take a left, and head up sort of to the north and west parts of town that I'm probably have never featured in a video. It's not the most scenic video. Again, there's a nice blow up of that truck. Again, I'm just having fun, stopping some things now and again just to see what happens when you stop the action. I'm going to go up to the north. I get a guy on a motorcycle here in a second. It looks kind of cool. But anyway, so I'm shooting 30 frames per second, and they're sharp. You should be able to stop on any frame, even this YouTube video, if you want to stop and look at something. I know it kind of gets weird me painting back and forth, but you should be able to stop on any frame, and it looked pretty good. Here's the motorcycle thing. Boom. So yeah, it's blurry when you're watching it, but then you stop it, and it's really nice and sharp. And basically every frame I've done, even if you're passing somebody going 50 miles an hour and they're coming back at you at 50, which would be what, a net of 100 miles an hour, pretty sharp frames. Right? So if I were to stop on that car, I'm not going to, but you'd be able to see the person inside there, which is pretty excellent. Now, probably the extent of anything you've ever seen in my videos before is up here about where Fairfield Inn is. I don't know if I've ever shown anybody further than that. This bike shop, I had a fella blow his horn at me on the street, and he just bought a bike there and said he'd seen my YouTube channel. He was from Virginia or someplace. That's Fauna Flora Brewery. I love the little flower containers there. That's the Fairfield Inn, the new place. Now this is going into sort of a secondary historic part of town, the kind of the fancier historic. Although I like that gargoyle. I didn't know what that was. But this is some old historic homes, and this one's being renovated on the left. It's just been kind of going downhill for a long time, but check this out. Some people are working on it. I did stop frame here. So I look forward to going back, 6 months from now and see what that house looks like. I bet it's going to be really nice, like some of these other ones here on the street. So again, this road eventually heads up into what's called the Oak Hill region, and then on up toward Jonas Ridge and over where Table Rock is. This is the road you get on to go to Table Rock and Hawksville. Eventually it's going to lead out of town. It's going to go out into the wilderness and over toward the Linville Gorge. It's about, I think, 29 miles away. I stopped this just to see those azaleas. Now that was one where I didn't blow up any pixels. So you get to see just how sharp it is if you don't blow the pixels up. Those were actual pixels. Over here to the left is their senior center where they're having the election. It's an election balloting center there, place to vote. And so yeah, headed over toward the out of town. That's a little fish market there on the right. They go get fresh fish every week and bring it, and people go buy their seafood there from our area. We're 4.5 hours from the beach. So good place. And North Carolina's kind of a long state that way, from west to east. We're over in the sort of the western foothills. Now this place to the left, you see that red thing there? That's an old car wash, and there's a big sinkhole there. And that's our post office to the left of it, the blue thing. But I stopped there. You can't see the sinkhole, but there's like a 50-foot wide sinkhole there. I don't know how they're going to repair that thing. And it might be cool to fly over it at some point. Just across the Catawba River. This building on the left up here, what do you think that looks like? I'll tell you what it is. It's an old Lowe's hardware. That's probably one of the first Lowe's hardware, at least in our area it was. And that's what the old Lowe's used to look like. Now we've got a big Lowe's back over on the other part of town, sort of the southern part of town. And that over to the right here, that used to be our public golf course, and they've let it go. It's Quaker Meadows. I played there a number of times. Totally gone.